Hey there, it's Jen. I am really glad you're here. And this is Every Kind of I Do, where it's basically about weirdo love stories and couples who do things their own way and those moments I get to photograph. And it's for anyone planning something meaningful or working in this wedding pro world who wants to do things differently. So, welcome to episode number one, where we talk about why this backyard wedding works. I am telling you, or let's get right into it. I teased you, let's get into it. So, what ended up happening with this wedding is they did it at their own home property, which I thought was lovely. And we were able to collaborate on decorations. And I thought it was important to speak to them about the decorations because I knew I'd be photographing it. And I also wanted them to feel comfortable sharing exactly what their style was, what their ideas were. We were going back and forth with photos of the property and what might work the best for their day because they were designing it from start to finish. And they were also designing it in the middle of the day. So we kind of had this window of time where we didn't know if the sun was going to be out. We didn't know if it was going to be cloudy. And as you can see, it was beautifully cloudy that day. And it was also like in the December time where you're not quite sure what kind of weather you're going to get. It could have been high wind. It could have been, bright sun. This wedding would have turned out completely different in the backyard had the weather been slightly different, right? And you know that when you take a chance on outdoor weddings, that the weather will be the deciding factor on how some of the photography turns out. So, what I love about this image is it shows you a lot of the aesthetic that they were going for. This big, beautiful hoop. It's a goldish kind of a hoop with some fabric drapes. They also have this kind of like a decoration of floral-esque and naturey kind of things going up the side. Very much more muted tones with some creams, blacks, and browns. I do think I see some feathers in there too. Not to mention the LED candles and lanterns at the bottom here. Now, this is just a very small portion of the wedding that I'm talking with you about today, but I wanted to note here that both brides came in a white and a creamy color toned gown, along with a shawl. And then also they have gold leaflets in their hair. So both of them had their hair and makeup done. It was beautiful. It was lovely. They were prepared very much for the winter weather. So you can kind of see how the shawl would come into play with the fashion aspect of this because if you're really, really cold, you just drape it all the way around your shoulders. I think it works beautifully here in this backyard wedding. Now, another thing that you'll notice is a microphone. So they had speakers set up, which was great because we could hear everything. And I'm so glad they did because before we knew it, there was somebody doing landscaping nearby. And as soon as the ceremony started, the landscaping team went vroom. And it was really, really funny, but also like you can't see it in the photographs, but we could hear it. We all experienced it together, and it was really, really funny. Um, in a way that we were still able to hear everything, which I think was lovely. That's really what it boils down to is could we hear everything? The question and the answers were yes, yes, yes. We could hear the officiant, we could hear the vows, and there was some lovely vows that they wanted to share with each other. And in this moment, everything came together just as they imagined for their backyard. And so I cannot say enough of how amazing this turned out. So the next thing I'm going to show you is a just a small portion of their decor that they decided to do for this backyard wedding. I think this was such a great idea. As a photographer, I'm used to seeing varieties of different images in the weddings, right? Sometimes it's on an easel, sometimes it is in a photo book. This is basically a giant photo wall of just images, 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 all put together on these vines. Obviously, I told you they were kind of bringing this indoor-outdoor feel. So these vines, they put their photos all up and down the vines. I thought this was a lovely idea. I have never seen this before in my career so far. And so you mix it with fairy lights and just very subtle, beautiful sheer curtains, you can kind of get this just flowy feel. But also, what I find interesting about all the photographs they picked is not only is it them having loving moments, but it's them and their friends, them and their family, all having these lovely, meaningful moments. But I feel like it's all kind of like this monochromatic print tone. So it's not quite black and white and it's not quite color. It's more of like a sepia tone. I really liked it because it felt like a living guest book or a living life story of this whole wall just full of photos. So I have to tell you that this couple nailed it on those momentous memories. I love looking at photos of people that I care a lot about, right? Like in my own life, this inspires me because of that. It's like a giant guest book and wall. I don't even know what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to figure out what the words are. It's not a guest book, it's just a memory photo book of your life story together, of your friends and your family. And all these different moments tell a different story. Like, I don't know everybody in these photos, but I don't have to know them. I just look at the smiles and I look at the interactions. I look at the group pictures and the solo pictures and the memories they have. And it just makes me excited for them and the story that they have built together. And of course, going forward, more images to come, more things to do, in your life together as a couple. So, and that is the second part of this backyard wedding that I just found absolutely lovely. And so the last image I'm going to show you from this amazing backyard wedding and why this works is because the way they did it was their personal aesthetic, their friends and family. They had a clear start time and a clear stop time. So they knew exactly when they wanted to end their event and just have their house back. That was a lovely way to put it together. And so this kind of detail for me wraps it up in a nice little bow of we have all this greenery, we have this nature aspect that's infused to this backyard wedding. And to me, done very well. Mind you, I'm only showing you like three different things from this wedding. I could probably do just a whole episode on that, but I really want to hone in on several things that really worked for this backyard wedding. So obviously, they set up tables in the back for everybody to enjoy. And one of them, I found a perfect backdrop for the rings. So I went ahead and grabbed one of the glass top tabletops, and it just so happened to have a leaf underneath it that was kind of poking through the top, right? And then that very bright golden yellow hue that you see is the reflections of things all around it. So there's a whole bunch of different things going on in this image, but I really wanted to capture the green tones and then this bright highlighted kind of a color tone behind it. So I loved how different these rings were. Each of them had their own personality, just like the two brides. There are just so many lovely things that you can see. I believe this one ring on top is kind of like this silvery toned ring with this big green stone, but then also you have the leaves that are kind of like intertwined around it. The second ring is much more of like a goldish tone, at least in this photo, it's a goldish tone, maybe a little less silvery, obviously. And then almost in this, the way I'm looking at it, it looks like it has kind of like a green marble effect. And I think that's what I love about weddings is that you never know what you're going to get, even down to the jewelry. And I think everybody has their own choices and things that they're going to make with their jewelry. So when you're thinking about your wedding day or even your backyard, think about the things that mean something to you. Did the way you decorate your house, the things inside your house that inspire you, the story that you have built together already. Are there some things in your story that you can pull out and use it during your backyard wedding? So this is why I wanted to tell you why this backyard wedding works. I'm very excited. I hope you enjoyed this. I look forward to seeing you on the next episode. Thanks for listening, and here's a reminder that there's no right way to do, and I do. I'll talk to you on the next episode on every kind of I do.